because your results matter.
We return here on Friday Night Fights, your boxing authority. Go back to July 25th. Scott Pemberton proposing in the dressing room and then getting rocked as soon as he got into the ring, and it just looked bad for him early. Max, Pemberton down in the second round, but then marched back. Then Sheika rocked him late. It went 114, 113 twice for Pemberton, 116, 111 for Sheika. We go to the tail of the tape, brought to you by Miller Lite. Again, it was Pemberton with the slight edge on the scorecard. Pemberton, 37 years old. Sheika, Max was just, again, looking back, you figure he's been around for a few years. He's fought Tate, Calzaghe, Luca, only 26 years old.
Sheika throws the shorter, harder punches. Sheika's 11 years younger. Sheika's been in with much better opposition. I thought Sheika should have won the first fight. I think he should win this fight, but you know what? The guy hasn't won a fight in 2 years. You know, you got to actually start beating guys.
Here's what you said on ESPN.com. We asked you, and look at that, nearly a third, or just about a third, going by Sheika by KO. There's a margin of error included in all these things, Max. All right, so who do you pick in this fight? I thought it would be Sheika.
On that, by the way.
Did you really? How many times?
Once.
Well, look at you being fair. All right, I went with
They only let you vote once.
Sheika by knockout, but I thought that was going to happen in the first one. He's 3-4 in his last 7 fights.
I voted Sheika by knockout.
Okay.
I expected Sheika to knock him out the first time. I think he'll knock him out this time. Again, he hasn't won a fight in a hot minute now, and at 26 years old, with as many good fighters as he's been in, you know, age is just a number. He might be an old 26. You always like
you know that feeling. I know you just make it up as you go along. Anyway, you've got Winter X Games coming your way this weekend. This time live. Yes, live from Aspen, Colorado. You can see it Saturday on ABC at 1 Eastern time. Then ESPN picks it up at 3 Eastern and then 9 Eastern time. Again, you can see the best.
Sheika's going to knock everyone out, you know?
Then
he gets decision usually.
You know, a lot of people overrate great offensive fighters. I don't know if you've heard that sort of theory.
That's mine.
Our main event is next. Omar Sheika is ready.
Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
It's time for our main event, Pemberton Sheika 2. The pressure was on Scott Pemberton before he even stepped into the ring. From marriage proposal to big fight stare down. The action heated up in round 2, favoring Sheika.
There's the explosiveness. There's the spots. And then maybe there's the chin of Pemberton.
I was okay. I just was like a flash knockdown.
You know, knowing my style, watching me, you know, I'm used to when I drop a guy, just jump right on him. And I didn't do that. And it haunted me down the fight. And I felt like if I would have pressured him and just stayed on him and won with power shots, I believe I would have took him out.
Onward they went. In the middle rounds, Pemberton regained confidence and control, outworking Sheika, utilizing his range. Here in the 8th round, Pemberton outlanded Sheika 20-4 in the first 2 minutes of this round. More work in the middle of the ring. Back to the right hand he goes.
You have something the other guy doesn't have. Exploit. There it goes. There it goes.
Pemberton triples up the jab and then comes with a right hand. But in the 11th round, Omar the Hunter found his target. Sheika turned it on.
Sheika. He can't set himself. And if he can't set himself, well, then he's not dangerous. But yeah, all of a sudden he explodes. And there was Pemberton inside with him. His trainer told him, go after him. He went after him. He was in close. And you know what? He's out on his feet.
Can you believe this?
If you look at the footage, he landed it right on the chin, you know, and he almost took my head off with that shot. But I remember going to the corner and saying, I did not come this far to get knocked out. That ain't happening.
I wasn't more impressed with his chin. I was more impressed that he was in great shape. And that's what made him finish that fight.
Here's Teddy Atlas's scorecard. 104-103, 2 10-8 rounds for Omar Sheika. So it comes down to this, according to Teddy Atlas, as both men trade now. Sheika swinging wildly. Who has more left here in this 12th round?
Now here's a shot for Pemberton to punch inside with Sheika. Oh, he can punch inside though with him because Sheika's so wide. You got to be all the way out, all the way in. Oh,
what a great exchange. Sheika gets the best of it.
114 to 113. And still,
after 12 grueling rounds, both brawlers were convinced they saw the fight their way.
The Sandman, Pemberton.
I believe his people and himself knows that he didn't win that fight. They know they pulled it out. It was close because where he's from, his hometown.
I won the fight. I was more busy in the middle rounds, and he had a few occasions, like 2 occasions where he hurt me in the 2nd round and 11th round. Other than that, I pretty much won every round after that.
Now linked by this Fight of the Year experience, both men appreciate what took place the first time, but they feel things will be much different.
These guys are going to see, man, a whole different me. Trust me when I tell you this.
What's going to be different? I'm going to win more convincingly.
There's no way this fight's going a distance, and that's a fact.
Big crowd here at Foxwoods. Fight has been sold out for over a month to see the rematch between Sheika and Pemberton. A sensational show the first go-round, and they are moments away from doing it again. The Thai Law jersey being busted out by Scotty Pemberton may serve him well. He needs to get some pickoffs, needs to pick off plenty of power shots from Omar Sheika. Here is Omar Sheika, 26 years old, 6 years into his pro career, from New Jersey. For the first time in a long time, he says he is 100% healthy. He is 23-5 with 16 knockouts, and we all know what happened 6 months ago. Here's the extended list of his recent bouts. Broke his right hand in the loss to Eric Luca. Also, Omar had knocked down Thomas Tate twice before a bad eye stopped that fight. Here's Teddy Atlas on the shoulds and shouldn'ts for Omar Sheika.
Well, what he should do is keep your foot on the gas. In other words, be more consistent offensively. You fight too much in spots, turning it on and off. Try to keep the offensive on more often than not. And number 2, what he should not do, don't push, but snap the jab. When you push it out, you leave counter opportunities for his right hand. When you snap it, it controls him and sets up your right hand. And again, what you should not do, number 3, not so many knots. What we mean is don't get tied up inside so often. You're the shorter man, you want to be close, so when you get inside, work, do damage. Don't put your hands behind him, don't get tied up.
And here's the Sandman, Scotty Pemberton, 37 years old, big super middleweight, over 6'2". He's from nearby New Bedford, Mass, has a huge local following here, and you'll hear that throughout the night. He's 26-3-1, 21 knockouts, and his last 5 dates back to April 2002. The fight 17 months ago against Charles Brewer, wildly exciting. Both men had each other hurt. Pemberton went down 3 times. It was a 6-round TKO loss. Teddy, set us up for Scotty Pemberton.
Well, number 1, what Pemberton should do is separate yourself with distance and the jab. You have a little reach edge, and he needs to be close to work, so keep him far by snapping that jab, staying outside at the proper range. Number 2, what you should do, when he throws wide, you throw straight. You have good power in that right hand. Sheika likes to throw some wide shots. That will give you an opportunity to land straight shots, and especially right hands inside his punches. And finally, number 3, what you should do, read the map. A fight can be like a journey. You see different things happen as the rounds go by. Read them, notice them. Like when Sheika goes into his spots where he's not working, take advantage and work. And then when he's looking for his spots to explode, don't give it to him, step out of range.
Any questions here? Questions here? Touch gloves, let's bang at the bell, let's do it.
They know each other well. Gary Rosado, the referee, scheduled for 12. And the opening moments of this first round may tell the story of the fight. You see Scotty Pemberton, he knows what he's in store for. Omar Sheika, ready for action. The ring experience at 26. A rugged veteran is Omar Sheika. He's been in plenty of championship rounds. You see the 25-6 edge there. Sheika has said that he views this first round as the 13th round of the last fight. Pemberton wants to take a decidedly more controlled and strategic approach, Teddy.
One thing that Pemberton was slightly the better man at is he was a little bit more, and has been consistently throughout his career, a little bit more consistent offensively. Sheika's been known for fighting in spots. Either he's doing nothing or he's exploding all over you. And when he's not exploding all over you, he gives you spots where you can control the offense, especially with the jab. And that has served Pemberton well. Been a little more consistent. When there's nothing explosive happening, he's using his jab. He's doing something on the outside. And I believe Pemberton needs to have some separation.
Just saw the knockout ratio moments ago. Among them, they have scored 11 first-round knockouts. Pemberton has racked up 8, Sheika 3 in his career. Sheika showing off the jab now. Comes in with a straight right. Pemberton returns fire.
I said it in the first round that one of the elements, one of the intangibles may be who has the better chin. Both guys can be explosive. Both guys can hurt the other. I believe the better chin belongs to Sheika. What that amounts to is that Pemberton may have to fight a technically better fight. Fight with less mistakes. Fight where he's more consistent, as we talked about that word earlier, where Sheika can make mistakes, but still overcome them. Because the chin will keep you in there, allow you other opportunities to have a second shot.
In the first fight, Pemberton was able to establish the jab right away. Right in the first round, threw a high total of 43 jabs in the opening round of their first fight. Thus far, he has 37. He's landed 6 of them.
The one thing I like so far is Pemberton, I believe, well, at least actually Sheika, I believe in this fight, has made a real attempt to be a little bit more consistent right away. You don't see as many dead spots, as many lulls as you did in the first time they met. Again, if it's true that Pemberton doesn't have as good a chin as Sheika, he wants to use that range, he wants to stay outside, he wants to hide that chin a little bit, don't put himself in positions where it's going to be tested as much, and that's what he's doing, is staying outside. Pemberton. Sheika wants to get close, he wants to explode. Good close round.
Very good round for both men. Sheika finishes strong.
The writers have spoken. USC is #1 sports, recognizing USC's first national championship since 1978. Free. Celebrate the Trojans with 3 great gifts from Sports Illustrated. Call now.
Scotty Pemberton coming out for action in the second round against Omar Sheika. Pemberton's dedicating this fight to 19-year-old Nicole Antill. Nicole was seriously injured in a car crash last year. Huge fan of the Sandman. She was here for that first fight against Sheika. A wonderful evening, but tonight, due to her condition, Nicole is not able to attend. So Scott Pemberton dedicating the fight to Nicole. That first round, Teddy, you talk about it being very even. Both fighters landing 16 punches. Sheika a little better, a little more efficient, landing 42% as Pemberton now jumps out with a spurt here in the opening moments of this second round.
And remember, both guys can pop, so both guys can suddenly gain control of the fight. In other words, we're in for a good one, guys, because there's going to be plenty of ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. Mostly peaks.
And remember, in their first fight, Pemberton was very active, just like he was in the first round tonight. And he went down from one shot from Sheika in the second round. We'll see if Sheika presses the gas pedal here.
The power for Pemberton, he does have power, comes in the right hand. The Sheika likes to use that left hook.
There was a big left hand that was the signature shot of their first fight in the 11th round. Many were shocked that Pemberton was able to stay on his feet.
Looking for edges to continue to scout this fight. We talked about Pemberton being a little bit more consistent offensively. Sheika making it for it.
And he goes down in the second round again, Teddy.
Same as last time, but this time you can see a different mindset with Sheika. He's going to be more consistent. I can feel it. I think you can see it. We're going to find out.
Can you believe that? And now Sheika is doing what he didn't do the first first go-round. He said that he laid off the first time, and he wants to take advantage if he gets him back in that situation.
He has to be careful, though, that he doesn't have too much emotion flowing right now. Just there, not what you wanted to see. When headhunting didn't go to the body, when a guy gets off the floor, he's going to try to survive. He's going to be defensive-minded. You got to go downstairs, not upstairs. He's moving upstairs. Sheika going a little headhunting. So far, hasn't taken advantage from the moment he had Pemberton on the floor. And Sheika does have a habit sometimes of getting a little wide with the shots. He needs to be careful with that. That can make him not be accurate, can leave holes for Pemberton to come back with something. That's going to break the action a little bit, a warning for a low blow.
Oh, a right hand comes in.
Again, a little wide in spots with Sheika. Good round for him. But, once again, had Pemberton in trouble, did he make the most of it? Will it come back to haunt him?
Let's listen in to Sean Razor in the corner of Pemberton.
You gotta have it. Listen to me.
Let me speak. Scott, okay? You're not getting an exchange with this guy and reach the box. But you are going to knock this guy out tonight. Okay? Now, what was working was the Brad basket. You went downstairs. Now, this is what I need. Jab, slip to the right, slip to the left, hook to the body. Jab, slip to the right. Right hand, left hook to the head. And give me a right hand.
Atlas, here's the first knockdown of the night.
Well, that time, the guy wide with the punches is Pemberton. And Sheika gets inside the shots. Once again, after the right hand, there's some wideness by Pemberton. And you're going to see the benefit of following up. After the right hand, what do you finish with? The left hook. It's the second punch, not the first punch, that does the damage for Sheika and gets him a 10-8 round.
A big left hand that just snapped the head of Scott Pemberton.
Both guys have to control their emotions.
We told you
Pemberton, I think Joe, has to stay on the outside, not allow Sheika into those exploding positions where he's close. Must stay on the outside. He's a gutsy guy, Pemberton, but he doesn't have the better chin. Needs to be aware of that. Stay on the outside. Fight a strategic fight that way. Make it harder for Sheika to get into his punching position. And Sheika has to make sure he doesn't go head crazy after he hurts Pemberton. Go to the body and not get too wide.
Teddy, uncanny similarities between the first fight and this fight. As you see, the Sandman now getting back to basics and turning the tables just as he did in the first fight. We could take this a step further. In the second round of the first fight, the knockdown occurred 1 minute and 17 seconds in. Tonight, 1:16. And here comes Sheika again.
But again, Sheika having success landing big shots up top, but after he goes out, he gets caught.
Left hand came in, but Pemberton comes back.
Because we talked about Sheika. When he's got Pemberton on the run, he's going to the head a little too much, a little wide. And what did we say early? Could leave himself open. Guess what? He's just been hurt. He's wide, Sheika, and a shot was able to get inside by Pemberton. Both these guys are good bangers. And as we said earlier, a lot of ebbs and flows. Well enjoyed, folks, because you're getting them. Both guys have the ability, with that TNT in their gloves, to suddenly gain the respect of the other guy in midstream immediately.
A wonderfully matched battle of two hungry, rugged, tenacious super middleweights. And they are picking up right where they left off in the first battle. An amazing third round here. Pemberton presses forward. Sheika still looking for those explosive left hands.
You know, it's a funny thing. It's a catch-22 for Pemberton. He's getting probably too close to Sheika, but he's had success, so you can't blame him. He's in there, he's throwing the shot, he's more consistent offensively, he controls the flow of the fight a little bit more, keeps Sheika defensive, but every time he's in close, there's always a chance for Sheika to come and explode something. I still think that Pemberton's probably better off with the jab on the outside and picking spots with the right hand.
Sheika now, a series of punches that go unanswered. Raining in left hands. But still, a nice comeback round for the Sandman, Scotty Pemberton. Keep in mind, he was leveled in the second round by a big left.
Oh, I shouldn't have to sell a kidney to get a new PC.
No what? Celeron processor, CD burner DVD combo, and $200 back. Call 1-800-555-2081 and go mobile for less.
You're going to see now what makes a great fight. In the last round, give and take, back and forth, and you're going to see back and forth. You see Sheika having his way going forward. He gets a little wide with a left hook, and a left hook of Pemberton's gets there first. I don't think Sheika ever saw that. He's got a terrific chin. He was hurt. He was able to grab on. He was able to survive. We have a terrific fight in front of us.
It is scheduled for 12 rounds. Good luck if we ever see it. Opening moments around 4, and Pemberton willing to just go at it with the big punching Omar Sheika.
Again, Pemberton, hey, I'm not complaining. This is a great fight. But again, all heart, he's inside. And when he gets inside, he's the more consistent guy. He's busier for longer terms than Sheika is. But he has to have a clock in his head. He can't stay. He's got to have like that clock they have in the NBA. You know, that 24-second clock where you got to do something before the clock goes off. I think that Pemberton has to be careful. When he's in there, he's got to have a little clock in his mind where he doesn't stay there too long. Get the damage, get off, and then get out before Sheika comes back with his spots. And again, Pemberton, on the outside, leaving that slow jab there. Good right hand by Sheika because the opening was given to him by Pemberton with a lazy jab.
Pemberton owned the first minute of this 4th round, but after a looping right hand and inside work with a right uppercut, all of a sudden it's Sheika. Back and forth we go.
A lot of times you got to work a while to get control of a fight. This is the kind of fight each guy can gain control in a moment.
Kenny Ellis' scorecard, 29-27, the 10-8 round with Sheika's knockdown, followed up by a steady effort from Pemberton in the 3rd round.
You know, Sheika came out this round, he still wasn't 100% recovered from the last round when he got caught that left hook. I don't believe, and that's why Pemberton jumped on him.
From long range, Pemberton still trying to target those big right hands.
See, there's going to be some dead spots, especially on the behalf of Sheika. That's where Pemberton must take advantage. He can carry those dead spots on the outside with his jab. Now, there he goes. He's inside. Now, why is he inside when he knows that that's in the punching range of Sheika? Because inside, he's a busier guy. He's been able to land. He's been able to keep Sheika defensive, been able to control rounds. But, again, he's got to realize that there's going to be moments when he's inside having good spots where Sheika's going to be close enough to have those explosions.
The pace has slowed for the time being in this 4th round. The opening minute and a half was nonstop. And now here comes Pemberton again charging in.
See, Sheika's problem is he depends on offense to create defense. When he's not working offensively, he's not sure how to keep you from doing this, landing.
Come on, guys. Time for bed.
5 more minutes, Mom.
Mind 24 hours a day. Call now.
Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you back at Foxwoods. 12th round super middleweight rematch between Omar Sheika and Scott Pemberton. For 6 months, everybody talked about what a great fight it was. This may be even better so far.
And when it's distance off that jab, Pemberton's able to be very effective right behind that jab with the right hand. Again, Sheika having problems, doesn't know how to work defense and offense. He's either working offense, which is taking care of his defense, or if he's not working, he's having problems controlling Pemberton's offense. Doesn't get out of range, doesn't doesn't know how to shut it off when he's not punching.
Teddy, your description of his lack of consistency at times. I mean, this guy's either in fifth gear or he's in neutral offensively.
Exactly. You know, Sheika, when he's not working, when he wants to take a break, he doesn't know, hasn't figured out and learned yet how to keep his opponent from not working. He hasn't learned how to do that. See, right now, Sheika's punching, so he's neutralizing Pemberton. But when Sheika is not punching, when he wants to take a break, he doesn't know how to do that in a safe way and keep his opponent from taking advantage and keep his opponent from working. Doesn't move his head consistently. Doesn't have a real good idea of how to use defense, Sheika that is, to sometimes take a little break and then work offense off his defense. There he looks for a counter. Sheika's either he's at you, throwing, or he's standing in front, trying to take a little bit of a break. But again, when he does that, he allows his opponent to have a huge advantage. Right now, Sheika doing a little better job of when he's not working consistently, keeping Pemberton from not working by using his legs a little bit. See, he figured something out. He's getting a little bit out of range. And every once in a while, throwing a counter back to keep Pemberton honest a little bit. But again, we said it early on, a more consistent guy as far as being able to have a little bit of a more steady flow offensively throughout the rounds is Pemberton.
Right hand comes in from Sheika, and as Omar Sheika and Scotty Pemberton get set to close out this fifth round, we're going to have a check-in with Brian Kenny and Max Kellerman. Brian, it's been the kind of fight that should produce one of those Max Kellerman grinning groans.
What? Oh, I think that's what he means.
That's what he meant.
Look, and I take it back because I thought when Pemberton got hurt this time that he wouldn't be able to survive, and he's come back and hurt Sheika. I take it all back. I'm sorry. Pemberton much better than I thought.
This is better than the first fight because already there have been more exchanges where both guys have been hurt. And you know what? Pemberton's doing it again, just like the first fight. You see him hurt in a way that you expect him to be knocked out. In this case, actually on the canvas and looking really hurt. He comes back not only to survive, but to actually do good stuff, to actually hurt Sheika. And, you know, Sheika, you hate to use the word lazy here at all, but he seems to, you know, there was a time in the fourth round he had Pemberton hurt again, needed to turn the hook over, and kind of just got a little lost concentration and lands him on the side of his head instead of really getting that elbow up, turning it over, and finishing the job.
Right after here, Friday Night Fights. We'll take you out to Australia. Lisa Raymond against Venus Williams in the third round match. Raymond 0-3 against Venus Williams. Again, the Australian Open right after Friday Night Fights. Guys?
All right, thanks, Brian and Max. Scotty Pemberton, the jab, very important for his arsenal of weaponry to be unloaded. He's 43 out of 236 through 5 rounds. In that last round, the fifth round, 11 out of 45. Doing a nice job, Teddy, of coming back after that vicious knockdown in the second round, but just as he did in the first fight.
Once again, both these fighters right away, they don't waste time introducing themselves to each other. Right away, grabbing moments, grabbing spots. Sheika is already shaking up Pemberton with the right hand.
Left comes in
from Sheika. This is a good, enjoyable fight.
Boy, is it ever. Is it ever. And here comes Sheika, right hand rings in, and now he jumps all over Pemberton. Non-stop, relentless effort from Omar Sheika.
Well, again, does he go to the body, or does he just go to the head? We're going to get a standing 8 count here.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
There is no standing 8 count.
Well, we just got one.
According to the rules that we were handed.
Now see, Sheika comes in a little careless, and he gets caught a right hand. Oh, boy. I said it in a Mickey Ward fight against a few years ago when we had it at Hampton Beach. In that tremendous fight, I said, hey, anybody at home, call up your friends, watch this one, tell them to watch. Well, there's plenty of time left before it's too late. Call your friends up, watch this one. Back and forth we go.
So the respite in the action helps Pemberton as he's able to come back here in the 6th round.
again, a right hand by Sheika.
Now, Teddy, we have asked the question again. Our producers have verified it. There is no standing 8 count in the rules that are supposed to be in effect in this fight. And let me tell you something, that mistake by Gary Rosado really helped out Scotty Pemberton, unless he was declaring that a technical knockdown when he was leaning up against the
only
ropes.
way you can do that is, and you're touching on it, is to say if the ropes weren't there, he would have went down. But I did not see his legs sagging in such a way that I could be sure of that. But right now, I see plenty of punches both sides. And again, the reason there's always an opportunity for Pemberton, even after Sheika has hurt him, is because Sheika comes in wide. And he comes in over anxious like that, and he comes in going to the head, and he can get caught with shots in between, and that's what's happened this round.
The give and take, and look at Pemberton. What a magnificent comeback by Scott Pemberton in a 6th round in which he was clearly hurt badly early on.
Every year, James Ward buys his mom the same old
Progressive.
Looks like Mom's gonna have a pretty special birthday. Think easier. Think Progressive. Visit Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Teddy, here's the action in the 6th round, which has been ruled a technical knockdown by referee Gary Rosado.
And you're going to see for yourself why. Sheika uncontrolled, throwing a barrage of punches, and you're going to watch as they go near the ropes. As Sheika continues punching, Pemberton is going to fall a little bit against the ropes. And that right there is the judgment of the referee that if the rope was not there, and you can't argue with it there, the picture tells you, if the rope wasn't there, he feels he would have went down. Therefore, the technical knockdown.
And Teddy, it saved Scotty Pemberton. He was able to recover, get on his feet, have a good finish to the 6th round, and now has come out strong again here in round number 7. What a fight from Foxwoods.
You know what? That's why I'm going to make it a 10-9 round, because Pemberton came back tremendously, landed some good shots that shook up Sheika. Sheika wins the round, but I'm not going to make it 10-8.
I agree with you. I think he balanced it out with his effort in the final minute. Teddy Atlas's scorecard, 57-56. We are just halfway through this scheduled 12-rounder. It's been enough entertainment and excitement to last a complete night of fights.
And enough heart to fill up the outdoors of Connecticut. Both guys have been hurt several times, and both guys have continued it. As you can see now, Pemberton taking his turn. And again, Sheika doesn't have an answer. Just watch it, guys. Sheika doesn't know how to turn offense off and still be able to make sure his opponent doesn't work. Does not know how to make sure that his opponent is not working and is not landing when he's not throwing. Look, when he's not throwing, Sheika does not have an answer how to stop his opponent from being successful with that flow offensively.
Another series of right hands comes in from Scott Pemberton, right through the guard of Sheika.
You know, right now, Sheika's only defense is his offense. He's got to learn when he's not working that he can do other things. He can move his head, he can make his opponent miss, he can step out of range, he can do some countering. Right now, if Sheika's not working, or just look
at this.
If he's not working, if Sheika's not working, he is defenseless. He doesn't have a defense. And Pemberton is taking advantage of it. He's letting his hands go because he knows that Sheika, for the most part, doesn't do two things at once. He's either throwing or he's doing nothing, and then he's letting you throw. There it is again.
Comes forward. Plants that right hand.
Well, Sheika's hurt here. Sheika's taking a lot of clean shots. He looks really worn here. The fresher man right now is Pemberton.
So just a round after scoring a technical knockdown in the 6th, Sheika takes a beating in the 7th. Saturday, some of the nation's top college football seniors get a chance to display their talents before the 2004 NFL Draft. You can see which players impress the NFL scouts Saturday at 5 Eastern at the Senior Bowl. For more information, you can log on to ESPN.com. Scotty Pemberton. What an effort tonight.
We've been talking about ebbs and flows. Well, here's one of the flows for Pemberton. It's been a terrific fight. Once again, Sheika standing in front for the most part. When he goes defensive, Pemberton knows he can let those hands go. He knows there's no incoming, nothing coming back at him, and he takes controls. And who's been more consistent? We talked about it from the top, Joe. Offensively, who's been a little bit more consistent? Pemberton. And a lot of people might wonder why. Why is he more? Well, it's pretty simple. He's more consistent offensively, Pemberton, that is. He's throwing more steadily, number one. And his technique a little purer, a little sharper. His punches a little straighter, a little sharper. And that helps him get in and out of trouble. Because with his punches being a little straighter, his technique being a little purer than Sheika, he's able to land a little bit cleaner, a little bit more precisely, a little bit more often because the punches are more concise. And he gets opportunities even after he's been hurt. When Sheika's come after him on the attack and thrown, Sheika's been thrown with wide shots. And the straightest shots of Pemberton have gotten it.
5 rounds to go here. Teddy Atlas's scorecard is all evened up. Of course, Omar Sheika benefiting from the 2 rounds in which he scored a knockdown in one and a technical knockdown in the other. But Pemberton, you saw the CompuBox numbers, has been very, very busy, throwing more than 250 more punches than Sheika. In the 7th round, Sheika, with his low totals, only threw 32, only landed 12. Want to remind everybody, after this spectacular main event, coverage of the Australian Open on ESPN2, Venus Williams and Lisa Raymond in action.
You know, one thing we haven't mentioned, when you go into a rematch, into a fight that's so close, that any little thing can turn the fight, and there goes the right hand, and there goes the attacks, the spots for Sheika again. But the problem is, Pemberton knows if he survives those spots, and that's what this is about, surviving spots for Pemberton. Can he survive the spots? So far he has. When he survives the spots, he knows there's a reprieve, Joe. He knows he's going to be left alone. He knows that he's going to have a moment and a couple of moments to get on the offense and really take command. But as I was saying, coming into this fight, little things can turn it around. Little things can make a difference. And Sheika, besides having to deal with a tough Pemberton, he also had to come in this fight without Buddy McGurk, who he was planning on having in his corner. But Buddy McGurk, of course, is in Atlantic City, getting ready for that big fight tomorrow night with Arturo Gatti.
Pemberton lands flush. Sheika comes back with a right and a left. Teddy, this fight is almost an exaggerated form of their first fight. Even more action, even more of the drama, the twists and turns, but yet many of the storylines still the same. The busier Pemberton, while Sheika has the ability to make it all happen with one punch.
Now you can check out the next evolution in home fitness. Call now for a free video or DVD, or visit us at nautilusdirect.com today.
Omar Sheika threw 8 tough rounds against Scott Pemberton. Says he came into this fight at 100% health for the first time in a long time. He suffered a broken right hand a few fights ago. He's had a very bad cut left eye in recent history. And he says he was only 70% in their first go-round. Well, but right here in the opening moments of the 9th round, full throttle.
Now again, Pemberton is dealt the cards of having to deal with a situation where he's got to survive a spot. And here's the spot. But once the spot's over, he knows that he has free reign. That's what this fight is down to now. Pemberton surviving spots, and other than that, trying to make sure that on the whole he's more consistent throughout the rounds. Sheika gets hurt. Unbelievable back and forth fight.
8th round, Teddy had it even, 76-76 here.
You know, Pemberton looks to be fresher. Sheika looks like a guy who's looks almost a little dehydrated. He looks dry. He's not sweating freely. He almost looks like he's a little bit worn more than Pemberton. Pemberton definitely looks like the fresher guy, but Sheika, just a ton of heart keeping him going from what I can see. Hey, guys at home, call your friends. Remember we said a couple years ago with Emmanuel Burton and Mickey Ward, call them up, watch this thing. This is not over. And this is two guys laying themselves bare in that ring. Not a lot of art right now. A lot of heart, a lot of determination. Tremendous fight. Sheika in trouble.
Right hand buries in.
And now
oh, boy,
Sheika,
he doesn't look good, Teddy.
Can Sheika survive? Can Sheika survive the moment? He needs to grab now. This is where his heart gets him in trouble. He wants to keep fighting. He needs to grab now. Nothing but heart keeping Sheika in this ring right now. And a little help from Pemberton picking his spots, maybe a little too much right now.
Sheika trying to hold on. The same position that Scotty Pemberton found himself in the 11th round of their first fight. It has been a spectacular evening from Foxwoods here in southeastern Connecticut. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas. Teddy, we already may have the fight of the year. It's only January.
You do right now.
What would you
right
be
now.
saying?
Don't forget a guy named Gaddy's fighting tomorrow night, though.
He's always something
he
special.
He has a terrible habit of, you know, changing those
Making
things.
action fights. What would you be saying right now if you were working each of these corners?
Well, right now, I just want to make sure that my guy Sheika, if he's my guy, that he can get some time to recover. I don't think he can be recovered after this minute rest. I want to make sure he goes out there and he either clinches or he stays outside. If he can use his legs, he moves a little bit, but he needs to buy some time. If I'm in the other corner, it's all relative. It's about what's happening. I tell Pemberton, you know what? That guy could not have recovered completely in that minute rest. You know what? Assume he didn't. Don't get reckless, but get on him.
And as you saw in the corners, just looking at the faces of our combatants, you tell me who's the 26-year-old and who's the 37-year-old. Scotty Pemberton is full of energy tonight in front of his hometown crowd, wanting to put the rest of the controversy of the split decision that he won back in July. Omar Sheika scored a knockdown in the second round, a technical knockdown in the 6th round. But in between those moments of glory, it's been Scott Pemberton who's been busier and effective.
I think we were correct. Sheika has not completely recovered.
Left hand Pemberton. Sheika is down.
Pemberton knows it. He's taking advantage of it. And there's a lot of time left. 2 minutes left. Too much time for a guy that doesn't know how to work defense, and his offense is his only defense. He does not know how to work defense, Sheika. He has all the heart in the world. But he's right there in front. He is not as good technically, not as consistent offensively, and you know what? Not as good defensively. Pemberton a little better, and that has really carried him.
How about the chin? Look at this, just breaking them apart. Omar Sheika
a lot of time
is off balance.
The referee's got to take a real close look in the corner. Has to look, and there goes the referee doing the right thing. A lot of time left. Boy, let me applaud the fighters in this ring, and let me applaud the referee. Good job. Thank you for a great night.
What a scene at Foxwoods. Scotty Pemberton on the shoulders. Vinny Paz cheered him on, and the local crowd loving it.
And let me give credit now to the trainer of Pemberton, A young Sean Razor who's trying to work his way up in the ranks as a trainer, just like Buddy McGurk has. He was a former amateur fighter, Sean Razor. I heard him in the corner after Pemberton was on the floor. He told his fighter, you're going to win this fight, and you're going to win by knockout.
The 10th round, Scotty Pemberton just explodes on Omar Sheika, Teddy.
Again, he knew, we talked about it in between rounds, he knew Sheika could not have recovered from that pummeling the round before. So he got close, he let his hands go. Let's take another look at it. He already has Sheika in real bad shape. He knew he didn't recover completely. He let him walk into shots. His technique was a little bit better. Nice counter shot there, letting Sheika just walk into it. Let his hands keep going, nothing fancy. And here at the end of the fight, you could see, look at Sheika. Nothing but heart, my God. Keeping him on his feet. He's out on his feet. A couple shots come. He can't defend himself. His legs aren't there. The referee does the right thing and stops the fight.
In that 10th round, Scotty Pemberton landed 24 power shots to Sheika's win. Scott Pemberton gets the 10th round knockout. He moves to 27-3-1. Omar Sheika drops to 23-6. We will talk to Scott Pemberton in moments, but first, let's head back to Brian and Max. Guys, how great was that?
Yeah, that is a superhuman effort in the ring that we saw from both fighters. Yeah. Both guys took way too many clean shots to the head in that fight. And remember how badly hurt Pemberton was in that second round.
Sheika was the more compact, tighter guy. As I said, he competed on a world-class level in many more fights than Pemberton had. You have to give it to Scotty Pemberton. His heart was just in both fights unbelievable, and his will to win was better than Sheika's. I mean, he refused to let himself lose, just refused to lose. I have to say, and I hate to say it, because it was such a great event, it was a great fight in the outcome, it was a very satisfying ending. I thought the ref was late stopping that fight, Brian, by about a half a round. I would have liked to see the fight stopped. I thought Sheika maybe took a dozen, maybe 2 dozen shots, clean shots to the head he didn't need to take.
But also, wouldn't that be incumbent upon the corner to say that their guy was hurt that badly at that point? Because even in the previous round, remember the ref jumped in and even you said, oh, no, don't stop that yet. Right. So there's a fine line there.
There is, especially with a guy like Sheika with the power to hurt Pemberton, especially in a fight like this, a series of fights like this now, that's back and forth, and just when it looks like one guy can't win, he comes back. But there was a certain point where Sheika just wasn't reacting, wasn't responding to the punches. There was a disconnect between when the punch would land and Sheika's response. And I think at that point, even if Sheika would come back to win the fight, I think at that point, it's not worth it, and the fight should be stopped. But that's a detail at the end, another, better than the first fight. This is a legitimate Fight of the Year candidate, not just for an ESPN Fight of the Year, for the entire world of boxing.
We're going to take a short break here on Friday Night Fights. We're going to be right back. Again, we'll hear from Scott Pemberton. Pemberton stops Sheika, gets yet another win against Sheika. He did it again. We're back after this.
Some people say
after the one major tournament that's eluded him, the PBA ABC Masters, Sunday at 1 on ESPN.
ESPN2 Friday Night Fights presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great tasting low-carb Miller Lite. And by The Neighborhood, built by MCI. Unlimited local and long distance for one low monthly price. Good scene here, nighttime at Foxwoods. And what fireworks were in the air between Scotty Pemberton and Omar Sheika. The 10th round, Pemberton unloads on Sheika, and he now joins Teddy Atlas and me here. Congratulations, Scotty. Let's take a look at the finish of the fight. Talk us through it.
It was a pretty tough fight. He was, I don't know, maybe he trained too hard or something. He didn't seem like he was as good as he was the first time I fought him, but maybe I was just a little bit more prepared this time.
You know, it's funny you say that, Scotty. Maybe you're going to become a trainer after you finish boxing, because I thought that he looked a little dry. You were sweating freely, and he looked a little dry. You were the fresher guy. You had much more left, and I made him mention that he didn't look himself. He looked like he was worn. He looked like a guy that just didn't have it in the tank.
Maybe that's true, you know. It's hard to say. I trained long and hard, away from my family, and, you know, I'm just looking to get a decent payday for this so I can buy a home for my family. And
what went through your head in that second round? Deja vu all over again?
The uncanny similarities.
I mean, you're on the floor the same as the first time. What went in your head?
Maybe that's a little something to motivate me. I don't like being down there, so I don't know what it is. I get to the point where I just, you know, I got to do something, I got to change something, or I'm going to lose this fight, so I got to dig down deep.
In a way, you know, you think of it as a negative when you're on the floor. Was it a positive to just say, hey, last time I was in this position, I came back and won? Did you actually think that?
No, not really. I just think I got to do something, or I'm going to lose this fight. And so I do whatever means necessary to win the fight. I ask my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to give me strength, so he usually does.
Scotty, are you aware of just how sensational of a fight that was to watch from an entertainment standpoint?
I mean, I don't really know because I didn't see it, but, you know, I've had quite a few pretty exciting fights. So I got a little, you know, people say I got a little suspect chin, so it makes it kind of exciting. You know, I got a little rock here and there, but it's all right.
Now, the guy behind you, your promoter, Jimmy Birchfield, sure knows. Heck of a fight here at Foxwoods tonight. Coming up next, we want to remind everybody it'll be the Australian Open. Venus Williams will be in action against Lisa Raymond. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Cheers.
Some like beers don't taste like anything.
Hey, Venus Williams in her third-round match, taking on American Lisa Raymond. Again, two-time Wimbledon U.S. Open champion Venus Williams in the Australian Open right after Friday Night Fights. Brian Kenny and Max Kellerman, we're going to be wrapping things up here. Next time we're with you on Friday Night Fights, Raymond Joval, again, to fight. Ring Magazine, again, you can look to top 10 middleweight. Raymond Joval taking on Angel Hernandez.
Went over J.C. Candelo.
That's Friday, February 6th, right here on ESPN2, 9 Eastern Time. We have about a minute here. Arturo Gatti taking on Gianluca Bronco. I know you wrote about this on your column at ESPN.com, which I read.
Thank you for noticing that.
All of the time. And it's Bronco really fighting 6-rounders in Italy. Any good shot here against Gatti?
Only in that Gatti often gets softer or so-called soft opponents, then it turns out to be a great fight because he forgets boxing once he gets hit, hears the crowd roar, and then goes toe-to-toe. But no, Gatti should win this fight.
Francisco Bajado, still only 20 years old, now stepping up a bit here, Max, taking on Emmanuel Clottey. He's the guy who beat Muhammad Abdullayev.
Though he was losing that fight, and I expect Bajado to look sensational in a win.
All right, again, we saw the fight of the year here on Friday Night Fights.
Pemberton deserves that big money fight. Get him that big money fight.
Be nice to see it happen. Once again, this is Friday Night Fights. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're back here on February 6th. The Australian Open is next.